Okay, so get this. We're diving deep into the AI revolution today, but is it a revolution that's like brewing or one that's already like changing everything? We've got these two sources that are kind of tackling this head on, A YouTube discussion with all these AI CEOs talking about the next wave, and then an article that's saying, hold on, the revolution's happening right now.
Yeah, it is pretty interesting how different those two perspectives are. It's kind of like, one group is like they're mapping out like a mission to Mars, and the other one is like, hey, we're building rockets in our backyards, already like ready for liftoff.
I like that analogy a lot.
Yeah.
So let's start with those AI CEOs at that Future Investment Initiative thing in Miami, 2025. I mean, what's the vibe like there? Like, what are these big names excited
Well,
about?
just picture this like a room just buzzing with energy, investors, entrepreneurs, everybody wants to know what's next for AI, right? And these CEOs are talking about some pretty wild stuff like hyper-realistic content creation,
Yeah.
for film and
Oh,
gaming.
yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah. And Stability AI, the company that Jim Cameron partnered with, they're at the forefront of that whole thing.
Wow. Stability AI with Jim Cameron. I can only imagine, like, the kind of visuals they must be working on.
Right. It's mind-blowing. And it's not just about entertainment either. They're also talking about private AI on personal devices. Liquid AI is a company that's really focused on making sure that stuff is secure and private.
So rather than just relying on the cloud, we could have powerful AI right on our devices.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds like something out of science fiction, honestly.
I know, right? It's really exciting.
Yeah.
And then there's the shift towards quantitative AI, basically using AI for scientific breakthroughs,
Okay.
like Sandbox AQ, for example. They're working on converting hydrocarbons into like higher order chemicals.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so think about what that could mean for sustainability and material science. It's huge.
Yeah, that is huge. And they keep mentioning democratization too, right? Making AI accessible through like open source hardware and software. Isn't that Torrens' big mission?
Yeah, exactly. They believe that open source is key to, global access and innovation. It's about removing the barriers that prevent people from, really benefiting from AI.
That's a really cool idea.
Yeah.
So basically, you're saying that while these AI leaders are looking ahead to this big future, there's another side to the story, right? Like the AI revolution is happening now, kind of thing.
Yeah, you got it. And that's where this article that we have, The Real AI Revolution, comes in. It argues that this revolution isn't some distant event. It's something that's already reshaping our lives. You know, it's happening right now.
Okay, so let's dive into this real AI revolution article then. It sounds like a pretty big reality check to all that future-focused talk we were just hearing about?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. This article really highlights like the massive productivity gains that people are experiencing right now thanks to AI. Like we're talking a potential 30x multiplier in efficiency for some tasks.
Whoa, 30x. What does that even look like in real life? That's got to be a huge game changer for people.
Absolutely. Think about writers using ChatGPT to like generate content in minutes, or programmers using tools like GitHub Copilot to help them code way faster. Those are like real world examples of how AI is already boosting productivity.
So while the CEOs are talking about what could be regular people, we're already seeing these huge benefits, huh?
That's exactly right. And it's not just about individual gains either. The article argues that this is leading to the rise of the like AI-enabled solopreneur. AI is really leveling the playing field and allowing individuals to compete with these larger companies.
That's pretty cool. So instead of needing a huge team or a big budget, you could have AI as your partner. That's really empowering. What else does this article highlight?
Well, it also talks about AI democratizing expertise. It's like having access to an infinite consultant, right?
Yeah.
They can provide you with insights and knowledge that were previously only available to, specialists.
Oh, wow. So instead of paying a fortune for consultants or agencies, you could just have AI guiding you. That's incredible.
Yeah, and it goes beyond just individuals, too. The article described something called the silent AI dividend. It's the idea that these individual productivity gains are going to ripple through the entire economy. Lower costs, faster innovation, a flood of new goods and services.
Wow, this is starting to feel like more than just a tech revolution. It's like a societal shift,
Yeah.
a fundamental change in how we work and create.
Yeah, I think you're right. And the article points out that there's this like velocity explosion happening. Product development cycles are shrinking from months to days. Creative projects that used to take weeks are now being finished in hours, all thanks to AI removing these like friction and cost barriers.
So it's like we've got these two perspectives. The CEOs are painting this grand vision of the future, And then this article is saying like, hey, wake up, the future is already here. It makes you wonder, are these two views really that
Well,
different?
that's the big question, right? Are they competing ideas or are they're just two sides of the same coin? I think we should explore that a bit more.
So we've heard from those AI CEOs talking about this like next wave of AI,
Yeah.
and we've explored that idea that the revolution is already in full swing, happening right now. It's got a lot to process.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, how those two perspectives like intertwine. On one hand, you've got this grand vision of what AI could become, and then on the other hand, you have the, you know, tangible impact that it's having already.
Right. It's like, should we be looking ahead, with all this excitement, or should we be focusing on what's happening like right under our noses?
I think it's got to be both. The advancements that these CEOs are talking about, those will definitely shape the future, but the article makes a good point. The revolution is happening now with or without, these big announcements and pronouncements.
So while those conferences are going on, the momentum is building anyway.
Exactly, yeah. And I think that's a really important takeaway for anyone listening. It's easy to get caught up in the hype and, all the predictions, but the real change is happening at ground level. It's driven by individuals and small companies who are adopting these tools and, using them.
So how do we reconcile these two perspectives then? Are those CEOs like just kind of out of touch with what's really going on?
I don't think so. Not necessarily. I think they're focused on the long game, the big picture, right? But the article is a good reminder that the real revolution is often quieter, more incremental. It's happening in the everyday ways that people are using AI, to solve problems and to create new things.
Okay, so we shouldn't dismiss these big ideas, but we should also be paying attention to the, practical stuff that's already changing things.
For sure, absolutely. And honestly, I think that's where the real opportunity lies. In understanding how to use these tools, to enhance your own work, your own creativity.
So what's the takeaway for our listeners then? What should people be doing to, prepare for this world, this AI-powered world, whether it's the next wave or the one that's, happening now?
Well, I think first and foremost, don't be intimidated by it. AI is a tool, and like any tool, it can be learned and mastered. There are so many resources out there, online, from introductory courses to really advanced tutorials.
Start exploring, start experimenting. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty, right?
Exactly. And be open to new ways of working. AI is definitely going to change how we do things. So, the more adaptable you are, the better equipped you'll be to navigate all those changes.
It's almost like we need to develop this new kind of literacy, an AI literacy, if you will.
Yeah, I like that. AI literacy, it's about understanding not just how to use the tools, but, their implications, their limitations, their potential impact on society.
So stay informed, stay curious, and don't be afraid to embrace the change. Sounds like that's the key to thriving in this AI-powered world, huh?
I think you nailed it. And remember, the AI revolution isn't just about machines, it's about us. It's about how we choose to use this technology, how we shape its development, and how we make sure it benefits humanity, as a whole.
That's a really powerful message. So to all our listeners out there, dive in, explore, and let's shape this future together. This has been a fascinating deep dive. And until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep your minds open to all the possibilities.